It's the one thing that every sim racer can do, yet so few of us actually do it. It's one of the most simple things there is, and it has nothing to do with skill, ability or experience. An elite esports racer can do it easily, but then again, so can a casual driver or a complete newbie entering a race for the very first time. State-of-the-art rig, entry-level wheel and pedals, gamepad controller, keyboard and mouse, equipment really doesn't matter. We can all do this one simple thing to make any sim race experience that little bit better for everyone. And surely we all want to do that, right? So what is this top secret tip that's so easy to do, I hear you ask? Well, it's as simple as saying sorry. Yeah, it's just one word, but in sim racing, sadly, sorry really does seem to be the hardest word to say. Now, everybody watching this video will have had at least one race ruined by somebody else making a mistake, but equally, you'll all have made a mistake that's ruined somebody else's race. You may not want to admit it, and you may not even have realised it, but you have. I know I have, that's for sure. And it's on those occasions when a simple sorry really does go a long way. It could be the most honest of mistakes, but you've still ruined somebody else's race, and for all you know, that could have been their only chance of the week to race. So you may not be able to undo the mistake, but you can show respect, compassion and empathy to your fellow sim racers by reaching out to them and acknowledging your error. And to me, this is more important than any fastest lap, pole position or podium. If I've played any part whatsoever in an incident that has cost another driver positions, the first thing I'll always do after a race is apologise to them and wish them well for their future races. Sadly though, not many drivers seem to share the same principles these days, and that's why I'm making this video. I've had more and more races ruined, but I'm receiving fewer and fewer apologies. Often I'll end a session with my blood boiling, but on the very rare occasion that someone actually takes the time to get in touch and say sorry, I immediately feel far less frustrated. Sure, my race was ruined and that sucks, but a sincere apology really does go a long way. I always have total respect for anyone who holds their hands up and admits their mistake, and that's not just in the sim racing world. The same goes for my work life and my social life too. A huge number of people I encounter on a day-to-day basis have a default setting: blame someone else. I call it the CYA strategy: cover your ass at all costs. And you see it a lot in sim racing too. Someone makes a mistake and they'll immediately go on the verbal offensive, blaming anyone or anything that they can. So what should you do in sim racing if you've been involved in an incident and you think it might be your fault? Well, I've got a few simple tips to follow. Number one, if in any doubt at all, check the replay before discussing the incident. Sometimes the cockpit view just doesn't tell the full story. Don't try to stubbornly defend your actions or blame anyone else until you've analysed the replay and fairly assessed the incident. Number two, a hotkeyed sorry isn't sincere. By all means, tap a button on your wheel to post a quick sorry in the in-race text chat immediately after an incident if you know you've made a mistake, but don't think that's your apology done. It's very impersonal. Take some time to reach out to your fellow driver after the race and apologise properly. Number three, remember that your opponent might not be on voice chat, so if you've said a quick sorry on your mic, they might not have heard it. A considered apology via message always means more. Number four, don't forget to apologise if the driver has already left the server. If their race was ruined early, chances are they'll have quit the server by the time you finish the race, but you can still contact them. Most sims have ways of getting in touch with fellow drivers. iRacing, for example, has a message function within its forums. Low Fuel Motorsport has an instant messaging service on its website. If you look hard enough, you can usually still apologise later. And finally, number five, your actions on track speak volumes. If you've made a mistake, the biggest apologetic gesture you can make on track is to wait for the other driver to rejoin and at least give them one position back. The example on screen now is me doing exactly this in an F3 race at Phillip Island a few weeks ago, and for me, this is one of the most important demonstrations of sim racing etiquette you could make. Do you want to be known as the driver who punted someone off and just carried on, or as the driver who waited? I guarantee you that no matter how annoyed that other driver is, they will appreciate the gesture and respect you more for it. Now, I appreciate that this is a completely different video to the type I usually publish on the channel each week, but it is a topic that I'm really passionate about, and if I can inspire just one rookie driver to start thinking about sim racing etiquette and respecting other drivers on track, then this video has done its job. Now, I know that some of you will take pride in a win-at-all-costs mentality, and I fully respect that a certain amount of ruthlessness is needed to be a winner, but please remember, this is just a simulation, and it's meant to be fun. We all have enough crap to deal with in our daily lives, so let's try that little bit harder to make sim racing a more welcoming and friendly place to escape to, so that we can forget about real life for a bit. Oh, and if you do end up stopping to let someone back on in front of you, don't think that your race is over. The link on screen now will take you to the full highlights of this Phillip Island race, and you'll see that even after rejoining at the back of the pack, you can still have an excellent race.